All right, what's going on, everybody, man? Another special guest. Like I said, I'm back 2 for 1 today. We got Coach Bernard Goodrum, head coach of the Griffin Bears. Last year, coach at Best Academy. But I ain't gonna tell the story too much. I'm gonna let the man come speak his piece himself, man. Like I said, I appreciate him coming on. Special live, man. So I'm saying, make sure you got your pencil and pads out because you can drop a lot of gems, a lot of jewels. So without that being further said, man of the hour, Coach Bernard Goodrum. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me on. And man, you guys do a great job with your network, with your socials, and everything, man. So it's exciting to be able to, tell my story, but also promote the program as well, too, man. On a platform like this one, man. You guys do a great job.
Now, I appreciate you. Appreciate those words, Coach. You know what I mean? So, this let's go ahead and get into your story, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you know what I'm saying, Griffin native. I'm saying, how did the love of football capture you? You know what I'm saying? Where did your first start on the gridiron start?
Um, that's a good question, man. I'm not sure how I, really started liking football. I mean, I was a kid, man. Growing up, I had a speech impediment. I still have one. I stuttered a little bit, and football was just kind of a way. Well, I didn't have to say a whole lot. I could take out some anger and aggression, and not have to really say anything. I could. I was comfortable there. I was a kid who was. I might have been a little bit above my age group. I started playing at 7. Um, and my uncle is a legend here, man. Johnny Goodrum. He passed away a couple years ago, but he was an assistant track coach and baseball coach, and he played at Fairmont High, and he played at Fort Valley, and so the football thing kind of came from him. And then I was my dad. He played, but he didn't play in high school. He ran track in high school. And man, I was just active, just in sports. Like I said, just when I got to football, it was something that just kind of stuck with me. I kind of enjoyed running and tackling and running the ball and hitting and stuff, man. So it's just something that kind of just really kind of became natural for me, honestly.
100%. So, when you started playing, I'm assuming were you on the line? Were you a skill guy? Because it looked like you played
Yeah,
linebacker back in the day.
yeah. Nah, I played running back to start, man. That's what my first position was when I first started playing. And then when I got to middle school, I played quarterback for a year. I always played defense though. I got to high school. I played linebacker majority of the time in high school. I sprung in a little bit of running back there too, but I kind of made my claim to fame. The LB position, and then I got an opportunity to go to Fort Valley in 2008. I walked on there. I was a decent little high school player, man. I was um, all area defense player of the year. Couple
Okay.
more accolades, man. In high school, I won bad. I was decent. I played at Spalding. Like I said, I'm from the area, so walked on at Fort Valley in 2008, and then from there, man, I had an opportunity. I started every game at Fort Valley from 2008 to 2012. I played linebacker there. We had the best defense in the nation in Division Two. In 2010, I think we gave up like 6 points a game, about 185 yards. Man, we had a really good defense. A lot of guys on that defense played in the league. Deontay Dinkins played for the Rams. Narada Williams played for the Lions. Alex Cook, who was really good, he didn't play in the league, but he was one of them guys that probably should have. Jason Thompson played for the Bears or the Packers, excuse me. Ricky Williams, he was on that team. He played for the Buffalo Bills and then did some arena football, CFL stuff. Most notable is probably Marquette King. He kicked for the Raiders. I'm not sure if you
Oh
remember
yeah.
him, but he was on the Raiders. He was on that team as well. And Ricardo Lockett was on that team as well too. He played for the Seahawks. So we had about 8 or 9 NFL guys on that team, as we were really good. And yeah, I got an opportunity after that, man, to go make $250 if I want to keep playing football. And I got drafted to the Cheyenne Warriors, and I don't know what the league is called, man. I got drafted to some league, and they were gonna pay me $250 a week, and I decided that football playing might be over with. I might just start, doing something else. I might just start coaching. So that's kind of how I started coaching, and I ended up going back to my old high school I went to Spalding. Coach Nick Davis, who's now still the head coach of Spalding now, he gave me an opportunity to come back. My brother, it was his senior season. My cousin was also there as well. A couple other guys that I kind of knew. So he gave an opportunity to come back and coach linebacker was there. So I kind of started my career in 2012. I student taught at one of the local middle schools. So I was still kind of in school. I had one semester to finish, but that was my first actual real coaching job. I coached linebacker at Spalding in 2012, and it kind of took off from there. I've been coaching ever since.
For sure, Coach. Get back to your story. I gotta let you know you got a lot of love in the chat. Got some
good.
You know what I mean? QB Marcus here called you a good guy. You know what I mean? He asked you about Griffin. I got a flow. I got this order in my head, so I'm gonna stick to the script. And for everybody who's tuning on IG, please don't go anywhere because I'm saying Coach already didn't drop gems. But Griffin, I'm saying? Let's go back to the high school days, man. What was Coach like walking up and down the hallways? I'm saying? You said you were kind of more reserved, or what? Kind of more the life of the school.
Nah, I mean, I was social. I mean? I was social. I was about my business for sure. What I mean? But I was a social guy. I kind of hung around the guys and I played all three sports. I was known for playing football. You know what I mean? But I played basketball. I ran track. I did baseball for like a hot minute. And it was just it wasn't for me. But I was definitely social, man, and I definitely enjoyed high school and college. Man, I had a good time.
100%. What you think is the biggest difference from Griffin back then to the Griffin today?
That's a really good question, man. Good and bad. I mean, the good thing is I think Griffin has a lot more exposure for both high schools. At the time, man, Spalding wasn't as known. The school opened up in 2000, so we were one of the first classes to kind of come through. But they went to the Dome the year before. So my 8th grade year in 2003 had a really good squad, really good team, and they ended up playing Peach County in the Final Four. But prior to that, Spalding had kind of just got built, and had been a Griffin high town, for the longest because it was only one high school. With a new high school in, people were kind of still split as far as kind of where they wanted to go, who they want to support. So it's good now to be able to see that both high schools are getting some love. Man, Spalding doing a great job, and being able to kind of increase the brand recognition, all that good stuff. The bad part is just we like anything else, man. You got to keep kids in the city. I think you guys and you do a great job, and I think kids sometimes see that they think the grass may be greener, other places or whatever. But Griffin is Griffin, man. Griffin has always produced really good football players and really good athletes and scholars as well too. But you can get everything you want here. You don't have to leave and go anywhere else and get, with a name or, whatever. I mean, Griffin, in itself is a name, big enough. You walk in these halls and you see all these NFL guys and you see all these Hall of Famers and you see all this, man. It's not often that you're able to walk into a high school like that. And granted, again, the school's been here since '87. The actual building that we're in is been here since then. But Griffin High School, itself is back in the '70s. So it's a lot of tradition here, man. It's a lot of players that have come through these these halls, this building, and that's not going to change. So that's probably the biggest change that just kind of the kids moving around a little bit, but we try to lock these gates, man, and keep our boys here.
So what are y'all doing differently to kind of keep the kids more in like you say in the city?
I mean, winning cures all. And I think you're able to put a good product on the field on Friday nights. It kind of helps. But also just being able to listen to the kids as well too. We got to catch up with the times. We got to upgrade our building, our weight room, our uniforms, facilities, whatever. It may seem passe to some people or whatever, but kids like what they like. And we can kind of appease that both ways. And it kind of helps to keep them here.
100%. When you reflect back on when you were playing, to now, what I mean, you talked about the pedigree, you know what I'm saying, of players being there, but what aside from that, you know what I mean, what something about the culture, what kept you committed to the Bears?
I mean, what commit to the Bears as far as when I was in school?
Yes, sir. When you went
Yeah,
going from middle
gotcha,
school to high school.
gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I played Spalding. But the biggest thing for me when I went, was like I said that dome team at Spalding was really good, and I was on to go to school there anyway. You know, what I mean, all my friends went there. I talked about earlier, man. I was a social guy. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to play ball with my friends. That was something that was important to me. And kind of being around the guys and being around the people I had played rec ball with and guys I had played middle school ball with. So, the commitment piece and kind of staying, with those guys, we had a bond and a friendship, that kind of went beyond playing, but, we wanted to play with each other. So that was the biggest thing for me, just kind of making sure that we kept our little core guys together.
100%. And got this question via QB Marcus. Let's see.
QB Marcus, what's up, man?
Yeah, he in the chat, man. He said he got a couple questions here, but he asked, how, because you coaching APS at Best Academy, how is it different from coaching the APS to Griffin?
Very different, man. That's a really good question. APS does a tremendous job, man, with the support for all the schools. I mean, it's just like the financial piece when you leave is something that you kind of really don't think about, man. Like APS did our helmets for us, our jerseys, our stadium, everything, man. Our buses, they did a great job for us. And that's a little bit different here because now, we have to raise funds for all of those things. But from the football piece, it kind of speaks to what I said earlier, man. APS it's a lot of moving around, which I think, Georgia High School is kind of getting to where they're, trying to kind of, limit some of that. But it was tough, man, to field a good team and keep a good team every year. I think you see that now, even with some guys here. So I think Doug ended up getting, for an example, they got a lot of guys the year before. They got a lot of transfers in, a lot of guys, and then they having a bunch of guys that left. You know what I'm saying? And Mays, another example, they had a bunch of guys come in. Now they're super young. A bunch of guys left. So I think it's harder to kind of keep your culture. And, when you got kind of a revolving door of kids in and out. And that's the big difference here is that these kids are from here. Their parents are from here. Their mama, their dad, their granddaddy. You know what I mean? You got all these guys and women that were Bears and want to see the Bears do well. And they're going to commit what they can to make sure that their kids are coming to school here.
Absolutely. And you also from the Coach Nick Davis tree,
Absolutely.
That coach that QB Marcus brought up. So how did that shape you to, or what traits did you pick from his style?
A lot of them, man. Coach Davis is great, man. He's a legend. As far as what he's done for myself and other coaches. Off of that line, you got myself as a head coach, Grant Myers. He was a head coach at Pickens. Cortland Fuller, defense coordinator in Florida. What was my man? I'm missing a couple more, man. It's like 4 or 5 head coaches that was on the staff I was on, and also coordinators as well too. But Coach Davis is an old school coach, man, and he gave us old school principles. And the biggest thing that I love from him is that he installed in us, man, that no job was too big or too small. You take pride in watching the close, like you take pride in coaching the linebackers. You take pride in line the field. You take pride in getting the field set up. Football comes with work. It's not a fall thing. It's not August through November or December. It's a 12-month job. You sign up for the work and for the development, and learning how to coach fast, how to coach hard, but how to love on these kids as well too, man. And I don't think there's anybody better in the business, than Coach Davis, man. He's an awesome guy.
And how do you with the landscape? Like a lot of people talk about it, players are different, things of that nature. But what's your opinion on that, and how have you what's the mindset behind coaching the modern day player? Do you think it's different? You know what I'm saying, what's your approach?
Man, I think we're different. I think kids are kids, bro. You know what I mean? Like I can't. You know, I know what I did when I was 14, 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I was into, and you know what I did, and I had adults around me that were, you know, could get me back in place. If they seen something that wasn't really in my character or my personality, you know what I mean, that they would scrape me back up. You know what I'm saying? But now I think parenting is a little bit different. I think you know, the adults are different, and we allow these kids to kind of get away with things that, you know, we couldn't or wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. You know, kids are kids again, and they like what they like. You know, generations change, but you know, principles should not. You know what I mean? We got to keep the same standards and you know, all of that great stuff in our program, man. And as adults, you know, we just got to hold the young men accountable. Because at the end of the day, man, you look at it, like seriously, think about how many people on a high school team. Let's take what's one of the biggest teams you cover?
Say Sandy Creek.
Sandy Creek. All right. Sandy Creek got a bunch of really good players. All right, but even on that team, you're talking about under 10% of that team that will actually have an opportunity to really make a career out of playing football.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's all that we're giving these men is to show up and teach them how to get in the stance and how to start and how to back pedal, tackle, run, or whatever else. And then when they leave the sport, they can't take any of those things into their actual lives, and they can't be better husbands, and they can't be better fathers and brothers and sons or whatever. We're doing those guys a disservice as coaches, you know, because again, man, at some point this game ends for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, and as the adults, as the coaches, we got to make sure that we're doing a great job of helping these young men be young men. Obviously, everybody want to win, man. Winning is definitely you know, the top goal and priority. But also building men should be our top priority too. So that's kind of why I think it's changed. I know I kind of went off into a whole different deal just then, but that's kind of why I think it changed. That though, man. I think my coaches and how I came up, you know, that they definitely cared about me, but they had old school principles and things that we just, you know, we couldn't do, you know. And now, you know, you get that sometime and kids think you old school, they call you uncle, they call you whatever, you know what I mean? But still, bro, it still gotta be those same things. You gotta find that kind of relatability, you know, where you can still hold the guys accountable, you know, but at the same time, man, you know, have a relationship with them to where they don't take it personal.
So that made me reflect on a moment from last night's game. Postel, you got the interception. I'm recording. I'm expecting a lot of, you know, saying, there you go, brother, good. You know what I'm saying? You did your thing. I see coach come grab his head and say, we cannot do that.
Hey man, and that's why I like you though, man, because when you posted the YouTube clip, you didn't put that part in there.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, because that kid made a great play, man. But he wasn't supposed to be there. You know, and he kind of struggled all night with lining up. And he's one of our better players. He's a really good football player. And he gonna make some college coach extremely happy, man, because he plays hard, he does the right way, he lifts, he's fast, strong, you know, really good kid. He just got to understand that he can't do too much. And again, our goal is to try to be the most improved team, and you know, in our region, in the state, in our class. When we play against somebody that's a playoff caliber team, not saying that Stars Mills is not, you know, Stars Mills is a great program, but when we get to tough games, they're going to be areas and spots where you got to just be disciplined. You know, you made a great play, but you were wrong, and I got to correct you on that. You know, good job, you know, good pick, great job, or whatever. But you're in the wrong spot. You're doing the wrong thing, and that's going to come back to hurt us. You know, if we don't correct it.
100%. So from week, you know, on a 3-game win streak to this point, start off on 2. What's been the biggest shift? You know what I'm saying? Your opinion. You know what I'm saying, from the slow starts to now being one of the hottest teams in 4A.
Man, I think we got a little bit ahead of ourselves against Tiff. I think belief is one thing. I think we were kind of surprised that we were in the game versus Tiff, which is I think one of the reasons why we lost it, because you know we just weren't there as a team yet to know how to finish it. And then you know it was the roller coaster of emotions, and everybody in the community telling you how much better you've gotten. how much better you look than last year. And then we roll into Sumter, and Sumter is one of the best teams in 2A. Sumter might be one of the best teams in the state. They got a really good team. Coach Rogers does a really good job. Those guys are tough. They're physical. They're sound.
Mm-hmm.
And you face that team, and then you kind of get a reality check on what you got to do and what you got to be able to do to continue to be good. And I think that we've really focused and put a whole lot of attention into just one day at a time. Like, I know everybody says that, but literally, like, we're not looking forward, even during this bye week, man. We're going to take Monday to watch film and make sure we clean everything up from, Friday night. And then, we're going to take one day at a time, man. We're going to get better every day. And on the Friday night, man, we're going to put our best product out there on the field and just leave it all out there, man. Play hard as we can.
Absolutely, man. So I gotta ask you, man. You're ready to coast. I don't say coast. Harris County is I'm saying, a good program, Northside Columbus. But I'm fast tracking to 2 games before you go.
Man.
Man. Jonesboro versus Central. Those are big games. Especially in the region. I don't want you to look too far ahead. If you need to stop me, like, nah, I take things one game at a week, Bacon. But just what's your thoughts? On those 2 games, on those 2 programs.
Yeah, man, that's a long way away.
Okay.
However, I get what you're getting at.
Yeah.
And I know where you're going with that, and I think that you're spot on in your thinking. And Jonesboro is loaded. There's no doubt about it. They got guys everywhere. They got dudes. Coach Floyd does a great job. Coach knows guys up. They got a great program. They're going to be a tough team to beat. And Central is what Central is. Obviously they're one of the top teams, in Quad A. Jonesboro as well too. So both of those teams, we're going to have to be at our best. We're going to be at our best, and we're going to have to roll into it knowing, what we're going to see, what we're going to face, and the speed of the game, and how physical it's going to be. And we're excited about playing those guys, when that time comes.
Absolutely. And I ask, personally, I watched the film on your players before I came out. I think the defense is there. I think one of the defenses is probably definitely one of the most slept on defensive units in the United States, definitely in 4A for sure. Watching the offense, like what Kelvin Johnson does, obviously I like, I run a dual quarterback thing, like what Evans does as well. But they're just missing on some shots downfield, has some snap issues, or just bobble snaps. So, just what's your opinion on the offense and what needs to clean up, or just what's the ceiling for this offense to say it better?
Oh man, the ceiling is I seen a quote the other day. Man, I was watching Coach Smart. He did an interview. I think George on the bye week last week, and then and he was just talking, and I stole something from him. I gave it to our team. He said that they're nowhere close to their potential. And I feel the same way about our offense. We got a first-year coordinator. First year for us. Coach O is seasoned. And our offensive staff is loaded with veteran coaches. Like I said, Coach O has been here before, did a really good job when he was here with Coach Reed, and he's doing a great job, with us right now. We got Coach Thorpe, coach our receivers, Coach Tree, our O-line, Coach Driver, our running backs, and Coach Jip Coach does our special teams and our wides, and those guys do a tremendous job. And the points that we put up so far versus the last couple of years is we're trending in the right direction. And what I think people got to remember even about our offense is that offense is a lot different than defense. Defense you can kind of as long as you're not outflanked, as long as you got people in the right gaps or whatever, you can kind of fly around and do some different things. Offensively, it takes a little bit more. And those guys doing a great job, in the first year. And the players doing a great job in the first year of understanding the scheme and being able to go out there and do it. Now, we do got to clean some stuff up for sure. Turnovers, that 48 seconds before halftime was probably the longest 48 seconds of my life. We went from being up 23-0 to now being a dogfight, 23-13. But KJ's young too, and that's what people got to understand. He's a huge key, 6'5", 250, and he's starting to run behind his pads. Coach O was doing a great job with him, with kind of fixing some of the fundamental things in the passing game with him. But he's only in 10th grade, Corday is in 11th grade. Dre is 11th grade. King Fuller, who didn't play last night, he's also a sophomore. Our backs, we got 2 senior backs, Ward and Colden. Those guys are seniors. But Caden Nellis, who didn't play on Friday night, he's a sophomore. We got another young kid, Chris Walker. He's a sophomore. So we got a lot of young talent. And I really believe that our offense is we haven't seen the best of those guys yet. They'll continue to be better. And it's hard to say that when you're scoring 39 and 42 and all those things, man. But honestly, man, I think the potential is there to be, one of the best units in the state for those guys in the future.
For sure, Coach. I got to ask you as well, seasoned coach, you know what I mean? A first-year head coach, but you know what I'm saying? You've seen, you know how things go, you know what I'm saying? Went to Albany, went out to play Westover, long road trip from home, kept the guys locked in, kept them loose. I'm saying, what went into that victory in your opinion?
It was very similar for Tiff. So we kind of used the same model as Tiff, and we put them in that same mindset. But this time we're gonna leave with a win. We got the Tiff, and we got down there, we got close, and we couldn't come away with the victory. But we did the same exact thing. We lived at the same time. We ate the same place. Then we wore the same uniform. We did the same exact routine. And we just tried to input, in the guys that this time, it's different. You're not the same team. The same time we ate at Sundays, a month ago or whatever it was. You're a totally different team now, but you got to go out and show that. And I was really proud of the defense that game. Our offense kind of started, slow a little bit, but the defense really held their own the first half. And then, offense just came out and exploded in the second half and did a great job. But just the routine of it and, just trying to make it, make those guys understand that, the first time we came down here, it didn't really work out for us. Played well, came up short, but this time we got to make sure we come out with one.
What's the plan? Like what I'm saying, when you were thinking, putting the schedule together, what was the mindset behind we're gonna go on these road trips early, go on these long bus rides? So what you preparing the team for by doing that?
That wasn't my mind. I didn't make the schedule. Yeah, I walked into this one, so I didn't make the schedule. But I do understand the mindset behind Coach Fed and doing the schedule, because you're in a tough region, so you want to have tough games and you want to try to make it as playoff-like as possible. If you feel like you got a playoff team, you want to, because one of these times you have to go on the road and go to South Georgia, go to Southwest Georgia or North Georgia or wherever, and go play somebody 2 hours, 3 hours away, and you got to be ready to roll. So I got the mindset behind it. I probably will only have scheduled one of these, but we had 2 of them this year. But in the future, we probably just gonna get one road trip like that.
You heard it here first. So when did you come in? Did you come in kind of late in the spring?
I came in late. I was hired in February, and my first actual date was hired in March. Sorry, my first actual date was March 17th. So Coach Fed resigned in January sometime, and then I went through the interview process and all that good stuff, and so my first official date was March 17th.
March 17th. Okay, so yeah, and the spring ball starts in April, so you might have you're really less than a month. So how did you kind of get the ball rolling? Get your install your ethos, everything like that. How'd you do it?
Man, the first thing was just was making sure we had staff.
Right.
We had some guys that I felt like did a great job on the previous staffs, and we kept those guys. But I'm not an offense coordinator, man. I need an OC, and that was the main thought process in finding an offense coordinator who I knew could just control that side of the ball. I'm a defensive guy by trade. So defensively, I knew we would be okay, but I needed to find an OC, and we interviewed, a couple guys, and then Coach Owens was definitely a great choice for us. I'm happy he decided to come. So that was the first thing, is just making sure the adults that we had around the kids would be adults that was trying to help move the program forward, and also had the same vision as myself too. So just trying to, impart the vision into the staff. And then, we break off and, all of us do that for the kids. And then with the kids, man, like I said, I'm from here. So I was able to kind of bring some guys back Just Tuggle, he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons Hall of Famer and should be an NFL Hall of Famer. I'm not sure why he's not,
Right.
in the Hall right now. But he came back and he talked to our guys, and we had former Bears that came back, and just try to let these guys know, man, the people in the community care about them. And that Griffin High is what it is, and that we are expected to be able to be a good football team every season. Young, old, whatever people expect for us to be good. Just trying to just get the confidence back in the kids, man. We lifted hard, we ran a lot, and those were some of the main things that we did coming into it initially. And just kind of want, even with spring, man, just go into spring and be able to get our install stuff in. Make sure we can run our basics. We went up against a very good Upson Lee team, and they're gonna be a force to reckon with, in their region as well. But competing against good talent, and then even going to the summertime, and we want to go, and compete against as many good people as we could. Went against Salem and Baldwin, on some team practices, and Burke County and Spalding, and went to UGA and went to Georgia State. So we just try to just be around as much good football and good teams, and try to put these kids in football situations. I learned a long time ago, man, is that, if you want to get better at football, you got to play it. Lifting and all that is super important, but nothing teaches the game like playing the game. So you got to be able to go out and put, these kids in football situations as much as possible, so you can learn from it and you can teach from
it. In a landscape of a game where you see a lot of kids training, that's really how some teams get like an extra one up. Not sure how it is in Griffin, you know what I'm saying, but just because you see a lot of coaches, they don't necessarily develop. I'm not sure there's a lot of training down there in Griffin, but just how, what's your opinion on that? And do you have that access down there?
Yeah, we do, man. I got a I don't know if it's a hot take, but I just my viewpoint on the training situation is a little bit different. Okay. Because I think that's how some of your bigger teams are kind of able to kind of get away with maybe not investing a whole lot in the young guys, because sometimes you just kind of you have a lot of kids. If you got 160 kids, and you don't have enough staff to really be able to really develop those guys. You send them off to like a trainer that you trust to be able to get them better. And we have access to that here. I mean, we got guys to do a great job. I mean, Coach Jackson at Spalding, he trained DBs, and he's local, does a really good job. But it is the footwork and all of that stuff. It still got to match the scheme as well too. And I think that's the piece sometimes that we miss inside of the training, is that you can do as much. I'm gonna just use DBs for example. You can do as much backpedaling and turning and ball drill as you want to, but at some point you got to come down and tackle somebody. At what point in training does that simulate? So I think from a coaching standpoint that we have to do a great job with our young kids and putting them around veteran coaches. I think sometimes we kind of put young coaches with young kids, and they may or may not be getting the structure and the development that they need. My mindset has always been, man, I want to put our guys around the same coach that our varsity guys get. So if I got to hire more staff, I got to hire more people, I got to hire more quality veteran coaches to be able to do that. And that's just kind of what we got to do. But I think, like I said, like for bigger teams, I think they use that as kind of a measuring stick. Too, like, you may have, you may go to, a high school team with 30 DBs, and, if you don't know how to backpedal a bit, dog, you probably ain't finna get a bunch of reps, what I'm saying? Whereas places like when I was at Best, I mean, we had to teach those guys a lot, and I kind of took that mindset more so there as well, too, just because of the teaching aspect. We had a middle school team, and I coached middle school as well. We had to teach guys how to get in the stands and teach them how to, everything, and they may not have had the resources to go to a trainer. We were their coaches and their trainer. So I think the training part is good if it's used the right way, and obviously if it's with the right people. I think, obviously Coach 10 does a great job. K10, Jelani Williams, me and him played college football together. He was a senior when I was a freshman. at Fort Valley, man. He was a great quarterback there, and he's doing a great job now, calling it, and his trainer has really taken off. And he's a guy that I would always recommend my guys to go to, just because I know what they're gonna get from him, and but training scheme just got to kind of go hand in hand with him. It does. I mean, you see it. I mean, those kids are getting basic fundamentals, but then you listen to them talk, and they're also getting everything else as well too from the scheme. And we got other people as well too. Tyler Morton, who played at Griffin. He's the OC at Heritage right now. He does quarterback training, does a tremendous job, and he's also another one I would recommend. All my kids to go to if they want to train with somebody. So just guys that can kind of complement both of those.
100%. Being in Griffin, going from what the program was to what it is now, is there a chip, on a team's shoulder going to different places that maybe not expecting y'all to play out the part? Is there a chip?
Absolutely. And we want to use that. We want to be able to really take that and use that for for fuel for the rest of the season. We want those guys to feel like they are doubted, and all the chattering, all the noise about us being better or whatever, and we are, and we have improved. But I want to keep these guys as level-headed as possible. Like I said, man, we're talking about one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one game at a time. Keep them as level-headed as possible to be able to attack, the team that we're playing and, not get too ahead of themselves, but go into that game knowing that, you're an underdog, what I'm saying? So I don't mind, when, you see scores or whatever, and they got us, behind or not winning or whatever it may be. We just kind of use that as fuel for the guys to be able to kind of go in and practice harder and play better.
And as a head coach, I know it's long hours for casual viewers that's watching this. What is your process like, coach? Up late, going up late, up early, whatever the case may be. Just what's your process of how you prepare from Sunday to Friday?
Man, we'll just take out the games. We'll just go this week. If we were playing a team on Friday, my staff would be walking in now. We meet at 2:00. They'll be walking in now, but Friday night after the game, we're gonna debrief as a staff, get in and wash all the clothes, debrief, and we're gonna watch the tape, from the game. We're gonna watch the film, get that knocked out, get our stats done, send everything to Hull Assist so we can get everything done as far as the offensive stats and the initial down and distance hash, all that good stuff. Saturday, man, we'll probably hit some rec games. Like yesterday, we hosted 6 rec games here, and my guys, they ran concession and they did the chain crew. So we was at the rec league games on Saturday. I said Sunday, man, we're gonna come in as staff. We're gonna meet from 2 to whenever the work's done. So whenever we get our work done, then we'll kind of, we'll kind of debrief as a staff, and then we'll kind of get out of there. Monday, a little bit of a lighter day for the varsity guys. So we watch the tape, and we'll come in and then we'll do about an hour 15 practice to just kind of move forward, from the previous opponent, and then just kind of intro, our next opponent as well too. Tuesday is going to be our longest day. Tuesday and Wednesday, those are our work days. We'll kind of have everything in, man. So we'll kind of have our Indy, we'll have our P&K, we have all of our special teams, our group period, 7-on-7, inside, and then we just try to be competitive as well in practice as well too. So we do red zone 7-on-7 every Wednesday, 2-minute drill every Wednesday as well too. Just try to create all those situations. But as far as for me, man, it just whenever the job is done, as far as the time limit of it, it's no real time. I mean, I wake up at the same time every morning. I'm up at 5, and whenever the job is done, it's done. As far as getting these kids home, and just kind of making sure we get the film in, all that good stuff. Thursday, obviously, is winding down. We got a walkthrough on Thursday. And then we got JV game Thursday, which I'm there for JV game as well too. We got JV staff that does a really good job of developing our, all of our young guys. And then Friday we back at it again. So if I had to put a time on it, I think I got home Friday at 1. After everything was done. But it just as far as the time is, man, it take what it take. You got to be able to get in and you got to be able to do it. So there's really no set time, for coaches.
Is it a different field being the head coach? You know what I'm saying? What you know what I'm saying? The community is looking at you possibly a little different, other than just a son of Griffin now being, you know what I'm saying, the man in charge at Griffin High School, you know what I'm saying, patrolling the guys, you know what I'm saying, being responsible, winning, bringing in money to the community, things like that for winning. Is that a different field for you?
Oh yeah, man, it definitely is. It's a added pressure is the wrong word because I don't really feel any pressure, but it's an added responsibility to make sure that I represent myself in the best way possible. That I represent just more than me. I represent our football program. I represent our community. I represent our school and our building. Everything that we do, man, is a representation of kind of who we are and how we want our program to be. So, like I said, added responsibility to just kind of make sure that we're doing the right things and we're moving the needle forward and we're just being the program that we're supposed to be.
All right, so the last couple of questions, Coach. I know you got to go. RTG, man. When you hear those letters, well, first of all, what does that mean? What does that mean to you?
So RTG, man, is return of the G. And I know it's supposed to be ROTG, but I kind of kept it at 3 letters, for the acronym. So, but when I was at Troy, I GA'd at Troy University in 2015, and I was on Neil Brown's staff for 2 years, and I learned a lot there. On that staff was John Summerall, who's another head coach at Tulane. Neil ended up doing a great job, and he moved on to be the head coach at West Virginia. Jordan Leslie was DC and D-line coach there at West Virginia. Vic Conan was also DC there as well too. Bam Hardiman is at Tulane with John Summerall. Al Pogue is at Missouri. Webb Hamilton is at he's at Nicholls State. So it's a lot of guys on that staff that end up going different places, and I was able to be a part of all of that. But one of the best things I learned from him was like Brandon and what he did in the program as far as branding Troy and what Troy was and how he was able to take the branding piece and the brand recognition and really kind of improve it. So that was one thing I said when I got my own program that I wanted to do. We did it at Best as well too. We had BTY, at Best and now here, just trying to return the gene is not a shot or trying to disrespect any other coach or whatever, prior to me. It's just a call to order, man, on who we are, on who Griffin is, on what Griffin is, and just being able to remember the pride and the tradition that G holds and that G carries and what it means and what it is. So for us, man, that's something. It's a fluid goal. It's something that that we're trying to reach, and really the only true way to reach it is by winning the state championship. And really being able to get back to region championships and really deep playoff runs. So that's all it is, man. It's just an opportunity, for the kids to remember what Griffin is, for those guys to take pride in Griffin and take pride in the G and take pride in everything that we embody.
100%. Last few questions, Coach. Prior to you taking this job, when you were in college, you know what I'm saying, did you see yourself coaching? And so how do you feel like what you're doing now is the vision you saw back then?
Yeah. I wanted to coach. Like I said, my uncle is a legend here. But my dad is also a legend too in his own right. He coached Park and Rec for 21 years, and he was my coach from age 7 to 11. He coached my brother, my cousin. I mean, he coached all of us, So I kind of always knew that if I couldn't play, that, coaching was kind of going to be my way to still be around football. The game has taught me so much as far as just being able to be tough, leadership, qualities, being able to kind of fight through some adverse situations. And I just want to be a Coach Wiggins, a Coach Goodrum, a Coach, whoever that they were to me, to somebody else. I want to be, that role and that figure for, somebody else's kid, who needs a positive role model, a guy's going to push them, a guy's going to help them to get to their potential and, be able to reach it. So coaching was always something I wanted to do. I seen myself on Saturdays, I thought I was going to be at Georgia or, somewhere like that. But, God called me here and I couldn't be more, happy to stay. I did college football for about 6 years. I was at Troy University, as I stated earlier, and I went to Colin in Mississippi for 2 years and coached JUCO ball there, and had an opportunity to coach some really talented kids. That's why I met Natron Brooks, who played for the Falcons. And on that team, we had him and Swayze Bozeman. He plays for the Giants right now.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Heath, he played for the Green Bay Packers. He was on that team as well. TK McClendon plays for the Titans. He was on that team. I feel like I'm missing one. And Tyrus Wheat, he was on that team. He played for the Cowboys. So we had a really talented group. I went from there, and I was the defense coordinator at Faulkner University in Montgomery. And then I kind of got out of college, got back in high school. So I thought I was going to be coach on Saturdays, but the good Lord said, Fridays, and I'm ecstatic to be back home, man. It's it feels really good to be here.
Do you want to go back college, or do you want to stay on Fridays?
I'm good at Griffin, man. I'm good, man. Okay, winning that G.
100%. So last thing, Coach, I'll let you go, man. Just shout out any player that you feel like that needs more attention, and why.
Man, I'm be honest, man. I think we have the best linebacker in the class of 27. Paul Robinson, number 4. I think Paul is he's everything you want, man. A linebacker, man. He's about 6'1". He's about 205 right now. He didn't play last season. He tore his ACL in the first game, last season. Mm-hmm. But he's having a tremendous year right now, man. If we got to do a better job of putting these guys' stats out here, man. But Paul has 3 games with over 16 tackles. He's been balling. I think he has five sacks, a block punt. He done dropped 2 or 3 picks, which is probably his fault. But he could have 2 or 3 more interceptions as well, too. But I think he's one of the best linebackers in the 27 class. I think he needs a lot more attention, man. He has a Georgia State offer right now. But I really feel like that, if you put him next to anybody else, man, that he will be better, or very, very comparable as well. Keyshawn Hastings does a great job for us, class 27. He's another really good kid that does some great things for us. Our class of 27 is loaded, man. Drake Cleveland, Corday Alexander, Tashard Evans, Makari Dixon. We got so many in that class. I'm missing some people too, but there's so many in that class, man, that does a great job for us. And I think, they got to continue to make plays and do their part. But they're going to make a college coach really happy. Our 28 class is kind of why I think that we're going to move the needle. Kelvin Johnson is obviously what he is, man, stud. And he's going to be a power 4 player, in my opinion. King Fuller is the same. He didn't play on Friday, but King does a great job of playing DN and tight end. He has 2 offers right now. He has Howard and Georgia State as well too. Caden Ellis at a running back, man, he's going to be explosive. Another really good kid as well too. Our 29 class, even after that, Jaden Prather, Trayvon Williams, Dante Teague, like those guys are also going to be really good players too. But I can't not say our seniors. It's just so tough for guys being recruited right now. If they don't have the measurables or the size, they just kind of fall down the loop a little bit. But Rashard King is having his best season that he's had. Stephon Hoggebrook having a tremendous year. Landon Wilson, Quindarius Thompson, Nick Hodo, all of those guys are doing a really good job for us. We got Jordan Mays off the basketball court, and he's doing a great job for us at our receiver. He caught a touchdown pass on Friday, and he's definitely improving every day. I hate to name names, bro. I miss people all the time now, and I don't want to nobody to feel slighted. But I think we have a really good and talented group of kids here. And Griffin is a place, like I said earlier, it's always had really good players. And we have some now, and as far as, as far as the exposure piece, being able to be on this platform, to be able to say those guys' names, man, is really important. And again, thank you, man, for covering us Friday. I think, Parkdale, the piece you did for him, the post for him is going to help him tremendously, as well too. But we got a lot of great kids, man. We really do.
Nah, I appreciate your coach for coming on. Definitely appreciate your flowers. I'm gonna take that whole clip, finna throw it on Twitter and Around the Way Sports. They're coming your way soon. They I believe they from that way. They're from down that way.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. They're from Griffin. Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? Again, Coach, I appreciate your time coming on. Hope the interview did you justice, you and the guys justice, man. But we will see you again. I got a lot of kids to go see Coach. I'm gonna lie.
Hey man, you booked and busy, man. You booked and busy.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High, man. We just try to stay on and go, you know what I'm saying? Bless everybody who's so blessed to come back to us. But again, though, I really appreciate you coming on, giving us your time,
Thank you,
man.
Thank you,
Yes,
man.
sir. And don't work too well. Work too hard. Work too hard because you know what I'm saying. You work with a lot, man. But try to enjoy the rest of your weekend, Coach.
I'll try, man. I'll try. Go Falcons. I know you're a Falcon fan.
Yes, sir. I think we might be up. You know, what I mean, I ain't been checking, but I got a feeling.
Yeah. Hey man, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed one, Coach.
You too. Love. Yes, sir.
All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? It's Coach Bernard Goodrum, man. You know what I'm saying? You heard the story, you know what I'm saying? You heard the lineage, you know what I'm saying? Uncle, father, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm saying with Coach, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, up there the story, man. Got a lot of talent. You heard it was 26, all the way to 29, man. So we loaded like that. It's only gonna be due time for the holding that ring figure. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Go watch the Falcons. Go ever watch the team you like to watch. I'm probably gonna chop it up with somebody here soon. I'm gonna watch this game. I'm gonna chop it up the film so players can start hitting me up in the DM. So I'm gonna do my job so they can do their jobs. Peace and love, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend, and we'll see y'all next Friday. Actually, we'll see y'all Monday for the football show. So definitely stay tuned to that, and I'll see y'all then. Peace.